welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm selfishly very excited about this particular webinar. I'm really looking forward to what is going to be shared here. So you can see I'm joined by Louise Breton. She is one of our fellow networking nutritionist members, and she's also certified in face yoga. So here today, she'll be sharing about face yoga. So discovering a bit about face yoga and helping us all to learn how to improve confidence and our online appearance as well. So basically, she'll be introducing us to face yoga, many of the benefits, and then also showing us how it can be used as a tool to help us as nutritionists not to shy away from being in front of the camera. So I know that's something we hear a lot is like, I don't want to get on Instagram Live. I don't know how I feel about doing a live webinar. So Louise has this awesome tool in face yoga that she can show us to help with that confidence level. So just a little bit about her for those of you who haven't met her, either those of you joining us live or if you're watching a replay later. Louise is a registered holistic nutritionist, and she is the co-author of the book Saved by Nutrition. She went on to become certified in face yoga, as I mentioned, and founded A Change of Face, where she teaches high-achieving entrepreneurial women who feel self-conscious getting behind the camera due to their maturing face. So again, just learning some of that confidence and leaning into using some natural modalities to get us looking our best. So I'm very, very excited to hear what you have to share today, Louise.
Thank you so much, Veronica. And thank you, ladies, for coming out in your busy schedule. So I'm super excited and I hope I deliver. So we've got a lot to go through. I'm going to pull up my presentation. So welcome to Face Yoga, and it's nice to see a few familiar faces too as well. Just a quick question. Is anybody, well, I know other than the people who are in my group have heard face yoga, has anybody tried face yoga at all? Is there any, show your hands, no one's really tried it? Okay, so this is all still brand new, right? Okay, that's exciting, good, okay. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of a stat, as Veronica was talking about, us getting out there and doing our lives. So, in the US alone, there were actually in 2020, 4.5 million new online businesses. And that was up from 3.5 million in 2019. So in 1 year, just went up. And so 36% of all businesses are now making their sales online now. And, in order to thrive in the online world, we need a strong online presence. And, it's tied to our credibility, it's tied to our reputation, our visibility. And you know what, let's face it, it's a noisy world out there in the cyberspace. And you know what, we don't want to end up being the best kept secret in our industry, because I know they need us nutritionists more than ever. So this is kind of my mission. And again, it's imperative that we connect and share our valuable messages with our audiences all over the world. Okay. We've also seen a lot of increases in platforms. I've got a few of my own favorite. I know Veronica knows a lot of different platforms, which she shares with us. So some of the ones, like doing a live either on social media, leading a masterclass on Zoom, like I'm doing now, recording YouTube videos, right? It was all fantastic. But, a lot of it, I have come across a lot of hesitancy. So there are you may be one of the thousands of women who, take a glimpse of yourself, right? And you're like, who is that? Or, you feel like you're looking at a stranger. So let's see here. Okay. So being online, we are now faced with our own face, where we're having to take a reality check at ourselves, right? Once upon a time, we would meet with a client or, your customers, you're not seeing yourself. So now we're really seeing, we're really having to view ourselves while we're speaking to somebody. It's just this different concept. I know for me, it was a little bit weird in the beginning. So now, you might start to really zoom in on, your faces and those, what's going on. It could be like the 11 lines, the creases, as soon as I get this a lot when people hear I do face yoga, they're like, Louise, my double chin, right? Or, they start to go on. It's kind of funny. They start to show off what they're noticing, right? So some of you might be taken back or a little bit of surprise, right? To see your face, how much it has changed or aged, right? It doesn't maybe not look as young as it once did. And so you may even question, right? Is that really me? And I know what really causes, I know this is causing a lot of anxiety as well, right? Especially if you're introverted, you feel self-conscious, maybe you feel a little bit of embarrassment showing up on video or on camera. And this new focus on oneself can have a negative impact on your self-confidence, how you conduct your overall business, and just how you relate with others. Okay. So, again, you maybe opt to leave the camera off more often. And I don't know if you've had interactions with a client and the video is off, right? You're doing a discovery and you're doing your best, but it can leave you feeling disconnected. So I know for me, especially I love in person because I love that in connection feel. But if it's far away and we have to do it, I much prefer to have a one-to-one and see people's face. So, right, you could be disconnecting or not connecting with your audience. It may even not even connecting with your content. You might be so focused on your what you deem flaws that you kind of get away from your own message, right? Get away from what you need to be saying. So, solutions. So mainstream, right? They present us with these beautiful packaged fancy anti-aging beauty products that we got to have, right? Of course, we all know the injections, the beauty, the Botox, even surgery as well. But it solely focuses on the outer appearance, right? It does nothing to address the root cause. And this start leaving us feeling more powerless and more frustrated. And that is, again, my reason is why I started to see a big increase in, these beauty clinics just popping up everywhere. And it was just, it's just calling to me. So just a quick, I know some of you know me as well, as Veronica talked about. So I am a graduate from CSNN in 2008. And once I hit the big 4.0, I started to notice, I used to have the really high cheekbones, and I just started to really notice a toll on my face. I was also working in a job that was stressful, unpleasant, and I was literally wearing that stress on my face. And I wasn't looking for face yoga, although I was looking for things to do with my face. I was looking for something. And it actually was scalp releasing exercises, believe it or not, that got me I went down the rabbit hole and I discovered face yoga. So, and yeah, so now I love to teach women how to tone, tighten, and lift their entire face naturally so that they can face the camera and the world more confidently. Okay, so what we're going to do, just as a little bit, we're going to talk about what face yoga is, how it works, why our facial expressions matter, some of the results you can expect, some before and after photos, which everybody loves. And we're going to do a little face yoga routine as well. I'm going to teach a little routine as well too, and just talk a little bit of some of lifestyle habits as well that impact our face too. Okay, so What is face yoga? So in short, it's a blend of yoga-like body postures, facial expressions, and conscious breathing techniques. It's designed to tone, tighten, and shape your entire face naturally, but at the same time, increasing self-confidence, self-esteem, and it brings a new awareness. So it's kind of call it beauty from an inside out approach. So similar to our bodies, our faces also have muscles, just like you see in this photo here as well. So just like we exercise our bodies to keep it fit and looking tone and in shape, we also need to move our faces for the same reasons. And we do move our faces, we do daily. So think of when you eat, when you smile, when you chew, when you talk, but there's an actual correct way to move our muscles. So we often pick up on facial expressions that are less flattering. And, the more we repeat the repetition, they create these unwanted lines, and it starts to create a more symmetrical face as well. So when we learn how to correctly use our face muscles, over time, we can create a more symmetrical, youthful looking face. Okay, so how does it work? Our skin metabolizes new skin cells roughly every 28 days. But of course, as we get older, we age, with the aging process, it slows down. And once we hit past 70, it actually goes from 28 to like a couple of months. So think of those skin cells, right? They're just building up. They leave a buildup. And now your skin, right? We have dead skin cells. Your skin looks rough and dry and dull. So the key is good circulation. And it helps to increase the metabolism of the skin. So again, we all know like exercise increases our circulation and oxygen. And if we don't exercise our body, what happens? We become weak, we become flabby. So it's the same with our face. And movement promotes the circulation. It brings more nutrients. So nutrients come and they feed and nourish the skin. And with the proper nutrients, it can speed up the turnover process, so resulting in skin that looks more radiant and glowing. I'm also going to add too as well, we're also dealing with gravity, right? Gravity is always a constant, right? It's always pulling down our face too. So again, it's the circulation, but also working out those muscles too. Okay, so why facial expressions? Facial expressions can represent our attitude, our feelings, and they can send out a message, right? It can either be a negative or positive out to the brain and to the world. So let's say we were talking about those 11 lines. I had a client who came to me because, again, she was very self-conscious of her 11 lines, but it was also affecting her work as well, because she was working on a project and that was her focus face. So when she was focused, she went in, right? And she noticed that, some colleagues weren't going to her directly. They were kind of felt like she was unapproachable. They felt like she was stressed out. So it was kind of, repelling that, right? So she'd taken notice with that. Even I think I used to work in a retirement home, and I think of the elderly with their lips, they start to turn, right? The frown, right? So you're looking at them at first glance, you might think they're unhappy or they're sad, right? So there's that perception there. Again, I ask you, when you get up first thing in the morning and you see your face, what is your first reaction? How do you react when you first see yourself, right? Anybody want to chime in? Because I've got some. I had a family member do this last year, and they were they were sick, but they walked up to the mirror and they went, ugh, right? And walked out. I grabbed that person and I went back to the mirror and I said, no, let's start over. Let's start over. So, we get like, either you don't look at yourself, you just comb your hair and, you just want to avoid looking at your eyes, or, I look awful, I look old, I look terrible. Think of those thoughts, those first thoughts, first thing in the morning, right? When what we say to ourselves. So again, the brain is always listening. So now you've set the tone for your day, right? How are those thoughts carried forward in your day? In your relationships, how are they affecting your relationships, right? And do you find yourself, again, it's not avoiding the mirror, avoiding the camera. Maybe it's you're turning down social invites, right? You don't want to go be seen with friends. You're finding excuses to be around other people. Or again, going back to business, you're not doing the lives or the videos that you need to be doing as well, or collaborating with others, right? Not bringing your light out into the world. So again, asking yourself how you come off with yourself and with others. So we're going to do a little fun exercise, and this is going to demonstrate the connection between our feelings and our facial expressions. Okay, so if you got a mirror, go ahead. If not, again, so I'm just going to have you, we're going to sit up tall, and I'm just going to take your hands. We're going to be touching our faces. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. You're going to take a deep breath in and out first. Now with the pads of your fingers, just what we're going to do is we're just going to go from the hairlines. We're just going to slide it down our face. So we're just going to keep this motion. And I'm just going to talk to you through a little visualization. Okay, so we're just sliding your hands down your face. Yeah, you got to take your glasses off, right? So close your eyes and I want you to visualize something heavy or stressful. Maybe it's a deadline you have to do. You're working on this project and you got to get it done. A task that needs to be done but feels daunting. This reminds me of taxes. Think of doing our taxes. Could be a conversation you're dreading, or maybe an exam you have to take. Maybe it's that really challenging client, right? You're reluctant to face, right? Just start to think of that, these things you got to do. Now notice when I say that, where you're holding tension. What thoughts and feelings come up? Again, maybe you find your jaw clenching up. Maybe it's the forehead, right? I know, especially in the temple area. Maybe your eyes are getting, I call it scrunching, right? Just scrunching your eyes. So just kind of notice where you're feeling the tension in your face. Okay, where do you hold on? Okay, so now we're going to try another experiment. And so, oh yeah, Veronica, you might need your glasses off still. We're gonna okay, so this time we're gonna close our eyes. We're gonna take a deep breath in and out. Just let go. Now you close your eyes, and now I want you to visualize something light and easy, right? Something could be a project you're excited to work on. Maybe it's attending a workshop or a class. Maybe it's connecting with a loved one for coffee. Maybe you're listening to your favorite playlist, or you're sitting down by the water. You're just being in your happy place, right? It just feels light and easy. Again, now I just want you to notice the shift, right? What are your thoughts and feelings coming up? Do you feel more uplifted? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel the muscles just relaxing? Just to see the difference. Anybody kind of see the difference there? Just, we have, I think, between 60 and 80,000 thoughts. So, depending on the amount of negative or positive thoughts, right? Can you imagine now just that little exercise with the stress? If you've got more negative and repeating that over and over, right? We start to cause the more tension in our face. You can open your eyes now. Yeah. Anybody feel any tension in certain areas at all? You'll find we all have maybe look in the jaw. Yes, Connie, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thinking of negative thoughts, I could feel it like almost like beside my mouth being pulled down, and that seemed to release when I was thinking of more positive things.
Yeah. So just that little extra, just to show you the connection, right? In how powerful our thoughts are and what they're doing with our face as well. Okay. And okay, so the benefits, the expected benefits. So I get this asked all the time, what are the benefits of face yoga? I like to break them down into three categories. There's the physical, obviously, there's the mental, and then what I call the other. So we have the physical, and here are just some of the benefits, right? So diminished lines from the forehead area, the eyes are wider and brighter. And I'll tell you, I always know when my client's done their homework by the eyes. That is my indicator for me. When we meet, usually it's once a week, and I know they've been doing their homework. As soon as I see their eyes, that it tells me, because you're bringing more oxygen, we're clearing out, right? The eyes are one of the first places for me to notice. So yeah, reduced eye bags, defined cheeks, laugh lines, uplifted corners of the mouth as well, a change in the mouth as well. This is a particular area because chewing, talking, right? This tends to get really tight as well. And then of course the jawline and the neckline as well. And of course, and overall, your face starts to get more symmetrical. And now the mental benefits. Again, more self-confidence. So when you show up and you do the work, and when you begin to see the changes, right, this gives you a feeling of being in control, right? You're able to see your results. You're able to do your best work, share your messages across your social media channels. Also brings a feeling of empowerment. I know for me, when I started doing face yoga, something changed in me, and I had not only people notice, but I was able to go to my boss and ask for a raise. I'd never been able to do that. I felt that, yeah, that confidence. It just, yeah, something inside me, and I knew that, yeah. So that was a side effect for me. Even your mood, right? When you're bringing more oxygen, think when you exercise, how good we feel as well, right? We're bringing oxygen to the face, circulation, raises endorphins. Also a lot of breathing, so we're feeling a lot of relaxation and calmness. And these what I call my other benefits as well. Maybe some you might not have considered. Clearer, more confident speech, right? We're using muscles we don't necessarily use. It's also a great brain exercise, right? We're learning new techniques, how to move the face. And it can be combined with other healing modalities. Of course, I'm combining it with holistic nutrition, but face yoga. I've worked also with physiotherapists as well. She sent me some of her clients who dealt with TMJ as well. Stroke victims. I had one of my student in the same class who didn't tell us she had a stroke, and she used it, and yeah, it was amazing. We could barely notice. It was just incredible. And Bell's palsy as well. We've seen big changes. Of course, they've used other modalities, but of course, in addition with face yoga. Okay. Okay, so this is, we always get people like, really, does it work? Does it work? Where's the proof, right? So they've taken a thermographic camera, and they did 3 sets of there's one popular pose, 3 sets, 10 seconds. So 30 seconds in total. So this is, you can see the amount of circulation over there on the right, all the red there. So face yoga definitely brings circulation, oxygen, and nutrients, which we want to feed the skin, and thus bringing physiological changes. So it starts to change at the cellular level. Okay. So how do we measure results? So when it comes to gauging success, we'll say like a weight loss, we have tape measures, we have scales, we have our clothes. But when it comes to our face, we don't really have any tools. So I always, our faces are always changing. And so I always invite clients to kind of go back 5-10 years ago just see the changes, what they notice. So I'm always encouraging my clients to take pictures. I do lots and lots of pictures, just so that we can, we look at our face on a daily basis. We don't see those subtle changes. So it can be hard to notice them. Anyway, I'm going to show you an example of a client as well who had a dramatic transformation. Okay. So this is Teresa. Teresa came to me after trying many things out. So she was a product junkie. She had everything. She had a consultation with a dermatologist. She was looking for help for her eye bags. She done YouTube videos. She even purchased a face yoga video from another face yoga teacher. So she was like wanting something. She needed guidance, accountability, and a how-to roadmap. She was also in a job too that was wearing her out too. She was very highly stressed in her job. So in this after shot, right, you can see right in the middle, kind of in the middle, right over here. This is about 5 months after. So again, you can see her skin is toned, her eyes, look at her eyes are much brighter. Her lips are much rosier. She's got a little bit of reduction in her eye, in her dark circles. And I just even look like on the physical, but just looking the difference is just how uplifted her face. Do you see how she's kind of has this downward look, and her face just looks so much more uplifted. So at that time, she said to me, she was so excited. She goes, I can't wait to see my face next year. And so anyway, sure enough, she maintained her results. And this was a year later, what she looked at there as well. So she's doing really good. Yeah, she did. Again, she used to wear a lot of eye like concealer as well. I did try to get her with diet as well. Like she wouldn't want to give up her wheat and her dairy. So like not entirely, but she was slowly making progress as well. So I was working with her a little bit with nutritionally too as well. So, okay. And then of course there's my own personal transformation, because I had to experience the changes myself before I was sold on this concept. Okay. So here was me on my first day of my face yoga certification that I took. And as I said, I was feeling frustrated in a job that was just miserable, a lot of stress going on in my life. And yeah, I'm just going to go back here. Yeah. So just kind of here, I felt like my eyes were kind of turned down, a little sleepy. I was getting those little bit laugh lines were starting to form. And I just felt like my skin, I know we can't see too much, but my skin was just starting to kind of get more flabby. And yeah, this was here. That was 10 months later. So my eyes definitely brighter looking, a big diminution in those laugh lines. And my skin was just more toned and taut as well. Okay. And then I did a little fun experiment as well. I did one saying, going back to your pictures, this was 25 years. So this is 25 years difference that I did back. So I was holding my little niece at the time. So yeah, so I'll let you be the judge of that, just to see over time how you can make changes. Okay. And good, right on time. And then just kind of talking a little bit about the different people that come. So Kristen here was a physical therapist and yoga instructor as well. She simply wanted to be able to take more selfies with her daughter again. That's what she, her own goal there. Joyce actually took the face yoga program with me, and she wanted accountability. So she went through the entire program with me. And Jeanette was recovering from Lyme disease. So she had a lot of tension in her face. She was actually a client from a physio as well. But she was also, her daughter was getting married. So she wanted to get help for her upcoming daughter's wedding. Jules? Okay. All right. Any questions up to there as well? Anybody have any questions at all? No? Are we ready to do some face yoga? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, let's see what I got here. Okay. So before we embark, again, it's imperative to know where you're starting from. This way, we can look back and see how far we've come. So I showed you with the pictures. In order to track our progress, we have to have that starting point. So I always get the resistance. Do I have to take my picture, right? So if anybody wants to take a quick picture of them before we start, sometimes I should have put it in there. I have done one where we did a picture and then we did one right after a session. So you can also do that as well. Sometimes just a nice little to see just some little changes. Yeah. Okay. So let me, again, just some simple tips as well. Just tips to help you when you're taking your photo as well. Natural lighting, of course, where clothes you feel good in, and then use very little expression. Okay. Okay. So there are 4 R's the 4 pillars to a successful yoga practice. And they are as follows. So there's the release, the rebuild, relax, and repeat. And so today I'm going to focus more on the release part. So the release is super important. So remember the exercises we did with regard to our thoughts and our feelings when everything was kind of feeling tight on your face? We noticed that. So these tight muscles over time, they start to contribute to lines and just more wrinkles, asymmetries, dimples, different things in the face. So we want to release that tension on a regular basis, right? In order to soften and smooth the face out. So we're going to talk here. Okay. So we do use, everybody familiar with acupressure push? Okay. Right. So just a little, so acupressure stimulates the body at a much deeper level. So, right, there's believed that there's several hundred meridians or several hundred acupoints along the meridians, and they're imaginary pathways in the body along with where vital energy flows. So poor circulation promotes congestion. So we're going to apply pressure to certain pressure points. So we can not only relieve tight and stiff muscles, we're going to help them relax and let go, because then they are also affecting specific organs as well. So this energy allows to flow through certain affected areas of the bodies. Okay. So this one's a great one. Again, the benefits: relaxes the forehead. We're going to release tension to prevent wrinkles. It's a great pose for reducing and preventing those 11 lines. It also helps to alleviate tired, bloodshot, swollen, and any type of puffiness. So I'm going to have you sit up. You can sit up. We can also lie down. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate it, and then we're going to do it together. So I'll just kind of walk you through it then. So we're going to take, just in here. Yeah, so I kind of have the directions there. So we're going to make a fist with both hands. So we're going to take the middle and index finger. We're going to place it in the center of the forehead. And again, we're going to apply firm pressure, and you're just going to slide the fist down towards the temple. And then as you get to the temple, I like to just add a little bit, like kind of push in a little bit and like make a little circle. So we're going to slide and then just kind of circle here. So kind of going back a little bit, and just back up a little. Again, if you have a mirror, just making sure, imagine if I were to draw a line from the top of my head, and I'm just going to draw it down, center my forehead, tip of my nose, peak of my lips, chin, all the way down, right? So just imagine there. So when you're looking at your chin, again, not making sure we're over to the side, or, just kind of really getting that posture. So opening up the chest, bringing the shoulders back and down. Again, always making sure your alignment, you're in good alignment first, okay? Just like body exercises, right? We always want to make sure you're in good alignment first. So let's take a deep breath in and out through the nose. And exhale. One more time. And exhale. So now we're going to take the hands, fist, again, the middle and the index finger. Again, so not here. Relax the shoulders down. Again, so we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're just going to slide it down the forehead. And then again, when you get to the temples, just give it a little bit of a rub. Bring it back to center. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Again, just kind of digging in a little bit. Center again. Inhale and slide. And again, digging, exhale. Last time, breathe in. And then just sliding it down in the temples. Give it a little bit of a circular motion. Breathe in, put your hands on your lap and just close your eyes. And I just want you to go in and notice if you feel around the forehead area, any, anything move, any movement, any heat, just notice what you feel. In and out. And just relaxing the shoulders. Good. All right, we're going to do a second set. Shoulders back, chest open, open heart. Again, in the fist, middle and index. Breathe in and out. Again, I like to just do a little extra around the temples, back to the center, and slide it across. And one more time, or two more times. Make sure you have that breathing and out. And breathe in. And out. Good. And hands on your laps and just close your eyes again. And notice, is your forehead becoming a little more relaxed? Are you letting go? Feel everything just falling away. Good. And open your eyes. And let's do one more set. Forehead. And exhale. We'll go in a little bit deeper if you can, maybe a little more firm pressure. Center. And across, slide. And third set. Breathe. And exhale out completely. One more time. And out. And out. Good. And just relax your hands on the forehead. Breathe in and out. Good. And again, just notice the freedom a little bit in your forehead area. Everything feels a little more smoother. Okay. How does that feel for everyone? Any questions with that one?
I want to just say, wow.
Good.
I can feel all of this energy in my forehead, and my temples are actually not as tight as when we started.
Oh, that's amazing. It's funny you say that, Connie, and I'll tell you in a minute. So it's funny you said the word wow. So just a few tips. Again, sometimes we have a tendency to compress the neck, right? We want to always be mindful, right? We're not pressing. We don't want the chin in. You can do this lying down, which is really nice because at least your head will be nice and supported as well. So you could do this in bed. And again, move slowly again too as well. So, and then that breathing really helps, right? We know the breathing as well. So really coordinating the breathing with it too. Then just about visualize just letting go. Okay. So I'm just looking at.
There's just one more question in the chat, Louise from Safa. She says, I wonder if you could use oil to help with the movement or not.
Yes, great. I'm glad she brought that up. And I meant to say that too. And you know what? This is a great one to do either your morning or night. You can do both with your routine. So when you're putting moisturizer or toner on the face, this works much better. Yes, I meant to. Thank you for bringing that up, Safa. Yeah, you may notice a little bit red as well. I had that in my notes with the presentation, but yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, definitely. So, and then kind of going back to the best times to take, the best time to do face yoga, morning and night. So first thing in the morning, right? Again, we're releasing the stress from sleeping, all the stress, maybe, you know, what's going on. We're relaxing, you're setting your tone for your day. And then now at the end of the day, right? You're letting go of all your stress. So now you can go into your sleep and you've released all that stress and relaxation. So that's great. Yeah, my face wasn't oily enough. It's funny. Okay.
I also wanted to ask another question. When we were doing a round circle over here, does it matter if the circle facing backward or forward?
No, I'm just trying to kind of get it's generally just, I've add that in. So I kind of get the knuckles. I know for me, I tend to, that's where I hold my stress here, like Connie was saying. So yeah, it doesn't matter. You can go either way. As long as, again, the purpose is to just let go of the stress in there, especially too, I know when I hold here, it affects the eyes as well, right? Everything's getting tight. There's that sphenoid bone here. I teach a really neat exercise to release the sphenoid bone, and that helps with your peripheral vision as well too. So this area tends to get really tight, so things are not moving. Like there's no circulation in there. So yeah, great question. Okay.
There's one more question here in the chat. Sabine asked, would this be similar to using a jade roller or a gua sha tool? Is there a difference between those?
That's a good question. I guess you could use the jade roller in the same manner. Absolutely. Yeah. If you maybe don't want to use your hands for a reason, but for sure you could. Now I'll say this, that I find with the hands, when you're doing it, like I said, moving slowly, you may have a little better control. You know, you may feel it. It's a connection with the body, right where you're feeling the tension. So yeah, by all means, you could use a tool, but having that hand, and it's kind of like that connection with yourself, you're noticing there. So I think that would be the difference there. Okay. So because the jaw and area, this is another area that gets quite tight. I want to show you this one as well too. So the acupressure point push for the jawline, right? This area where we talk, we chew, this tends to get really, really tight and bunched up as well. So it's also an area too that displays hormonal imbalances. We know, even think for women, menopause, right? They get excess hairs, right? Growing in there as well. Sagging, drooping, right? We're always looking down, right? So there's the weight of our head. We're promoting that sagginess, right? The gravity, right? So our heads are not balanced. So this will definitely redefine your face line. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumbs. Again, you can have your elbows on a table if you want. This makes it easier. And again, I want you to imagine I got a line right in the chin here. So we're going to have one on each side of that line. And then the inside of my index fingers. Okay, so this is kind of support. Again, so what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in while applying firm pressure. So you may or may not feel this, but breathe in. And then you're going to squeeze, and we're just going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to bring it right at the corner where the lips here. Again, same thing. And just press 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're just going to slide it. There you did. You'll feel like a little indent here. So it's still underneath. And then you just kind of feel for a little bit. There's a little bit of an indent. You might feel a little bit of tightness. And then squeeze in. You can feel it on me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Exhale. And again, it's just that simple pause and going in and then noticing where, where we just touched. And unless we're going to go in for a second set. So repeating just what we did. So first, again, on each side, breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide the hands right to the corner of this, underneath the corners of the lips. And breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again. And squeeze. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just come out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let's do one more set. Again. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then under the jaw. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just come out, close your eyes. And then feel that you might feel some heat, some warmth in your jaw area. So this is a great one to try. Again, even with we're doing the forehead one, try with your eyes closed. And again, as I was relating, really feel that body and face, some kind of mind-body connection. And you start to notice where you're carrying your own pain and tightness as well. Always listen to the body. Don't go, if you start to feel a lot of pain, back off, go either a little gentler or come back another time as well. Okay, it's so important to just listen to the body. They are subtle, but they're very, very effective. Okay, the warm-up. Right, just like we use warm-ups prior to exercising, we also need to warm up our face muscles to better prepare them for movement. So this next pose, it's really effective to wake up the face, release tension in the mid and lower face. It increases circulation. It really helps with emotional stress, and it uplifts the mood. And it's one I use driving. Okay, it's called the wow pose, Kwani. She said the wow, so I call it the happy pose. As I said, there's the benefits. Okay, so sorry if my dog's just groaning there. I don't know if you can hear her, but okay. Again, you could use this pose virtually anywhere. If you don't have a lot of time for warm up, it's one of my favorite ones. Okay, so what we're gonna do is slowly in an exaggerated manner, we're just gonna open our mouth and we're gonna say, wow. Again, we don't want this. You see this, sometimes people go, wow. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm creating more lines, right? I'm creating more stress on my face. That's not the object. So we wanna release. So not necessarily to vocalize, but I suggested it's better. You can do it with or without, but I love that just saying it. It just allows me an emotional release. So let's just do it again. We're gonna do 10 wows together, okay? Again, try to keep the eyes open, not a big deal at this time. I get into a little bit deeper in my training. We'll talk about it, but just try to have the eyes a little bit wide open. Take a deep breath again through the nasal. We do the nasal breathing. 3 more times. Two more. One more time. Good. Close your eyes. Just take a deep breath and just notice where you notice the warmth happening on your face. Any tingling. Breathe in and out normally. Okay. So we're going to go for a second set. If you want, I like to even incorporate a little bit of the body. So imagine kind of bringing the stress, like wrapping the stress in my hands and then releasing it, right? So we use different types, but I kind of just grab the heat and go. I used to teach this in my warm therapy water class as well. The elderly loved this one, right? So we were just at the end. Okay, bring it in. Five more. Two more. Good. Close your eyes. Again, hands on your lap and just notice. Do you feel the relaxation? Go on. Hopefully you're feeling much more energy moving through your face, your jawline. Okay. Last set. Okay. Yeah, you can even have the hands. We can even kind of go even more. You can just stay where you are or do the hands or even the hands and I'll be like, ready? Five more. Two more. Good. Hands on your lap and just close your eyes and notice. You feel the circulation moving. Maybe if you're using your shoulders, your arms, you might feel moving it down into your chest. Breathe in and out normally. And out. Good. And open your eyes. How do we feel? Oh, you're shifting, Safa. Love it. Can anybody see how that can kind of shift the mood a little bit? We feel that? Okay. So just some tips, again, not to over exaggerate. Again, we try to keep the eyes wide open without wrinkling the forehead, but that's okay. We can even use the hands to stop the wrinkling and to breathe in and out. Okay. So this one's similar to face in yoga, like the lion's pose as well. This is I love this one. So this one tones the face muscles, detoxes the system, and it really brings a lot of circulation. So we're promoting a better complexion. Okay. So we're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to stick out the tongue and we're going to say ha, that ha. We're going to breathe out completely. So breathe in and then, okay, let's do it together. Breathe in, eyes again, eyes open. You can have your hand here if you find you're wrinkling the forehead too, but you can. Again, just close your eyes. Breathe in and out. Open your eyes wide open. Breathe in. Close your eyes. Just let go. Making sure there's the chest, shoulders back. And one more set. Open the eyes. One more time. And close your eyes. And notice you feel. I find this really invigorating. I almost, if I do this in the car, I have to really watch how deep I go as well. I tend to get lightheaded with this one too, I feel. Yeah. Yeah. You feeling that too, Connie? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we don't try not to wrinkle the forehead. And another thing too, when we talked about posture's big in there, but sometimes when the tongue comes out, to make sure that it's like straight down, right? Not right, just having a note on your tongue. And if it is kind of, you know, you can use the hand to kind of bring it to that center. So we imagine again that line. So everything's coming down. Okay. So success here. Okay. I want to combine those last two exercises. So this is a fun one. I do this every morning. This is my fun one. I put those two kind of together. I use some other ones, but if you're, let's say you're going to do a live, or you're going to meet with you have a call with a client or something. And sometimes we listen to music to pump up, but this might be a fun little exercise I'll give you. We'll combine the two together just to, again, uplift the mood. So we're going to do the wow and the detox. Okay. So I'll do kind of 10 reps. So I will do 3 wows and 3 detoxes. So I'll demonstrate. So and then repeat. Everybody got that? So let's do that together. So
Louise, Louise, quick question. When you're doing the tongue one, how far should your tongue come out?
Just relaxing, Connie. So we're not trying to like stretch it down. It's just, so if we should have did the detox, I'll actually do the detox. Let's do the detox without doing the ha sound. So just, right? So it's like I imagine kind of like the ha sound rolling off my tongue. Okay, so try just, right? You can't, it's almost impossible, right? So when you do the, stuff is really, I love it. I love it, stuff. I love the energy you're releasing. Okay. So yeah, so again, Connie, it's not, we're just allowing the tongue to relax. The face is relaxed. The jaw is relaxed. Okay. Any other questions before we start? So again, this is a fun you can do. I do this driving, so I don't care who's watching anymore now. I drive and my tongue goes out. I don't care. By the time I get to work, I'm happy. I'm in a really good mood. So, okay. So detox. One more set. Then just close your eyes, breathe in, and exhale. How does your face feel? Let me tell you. Do you feel the circulation? Do you feel the blood circulating? Yes. I see Connie saying yes. Okay. Just quickly, I know we have like lifestyle as well. So I just talked a few beauty robbers as well. And their posture as I said, I was mentioning, posture is super, super important, because we want circulation to flow, right? When we're kind of, you think your neck, right? We start to impede circulation, right? We want to allow that circulation to flow. Sleep, not only beauty sleep, which we talk about, but also sleep position as well. So the sleep position, sleeping on our backs is best, because I go in great detail in my course as well, but especially if you're prone to sleeping, I was a big side sleeper. I still love it, but I still, I kind of go back when I'm more conscious, because a lot of people were coming to me and they'd say they would get lines on one side of their face. You notice that, around the eyes, right? We're in that pillow for 6 to 8 hours. So over time, we start to create, even around the mouth area as well, you might notice some weird lines on one side of the face and not the other as well. So there's that. And then of course, I always recommend diet as well. So I do talk a little bit with collagen boosting foods and promoting as well. So, okay. So secret staying young: live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. And yeah, so I love this next picture. So I always say, if I didn't explain face yoga, if I didn't do a good enough job, I love this before and after as well. This is one transformation. And I said, not just the physical, but you could see the eyes and just her overall, yeah. So that, okay. Any questions? Any other questions? Connie, go ahead.
Louise, what about like when you're sleeping on your back? Any recommendations I've heard, if you can sleep on your back without a pillow, is actually even better for overall like tension and tightness in your neck and stuff.
Yes, there are pillows that you can get that will kind of align your neck as well. And again, too, also too, when I was talking about the eyes, face too, sometimes we tend to sleep by kind of, we on our side, we also tend to neck wrinkles as well as a big one, which is also too when we're looking down as well. So sometimes I'll get ladies to put, if that's a trouble area, to get like a scarf, to wear a scarf while they're working as well. So it kind of reminds them and keeps that space, right? So you're not creating the wrinkles, but that's a great one. Pillows underneath the knees as well. Again, making sure mindful posture as well. So I just trained myself. Like I said, I tend to go on my side and then I'll slowly revert back on there, but finding the best way to be. And again, if you can have someone either watch you or look in the mirror, and just making sure you're, again, not making the lines and you're being, as, what's the word I want to say? Like posturally inclined, or right? Like your posture is in good form as well. Because right, gravity's also too, right? So we're on our being on our backs. But yeah, and if you are on your side, I know there's some someone asked me about pillows, but one woman said she liked to sleep with their hand on her right, and it's soothing. But I said over time, it's the weight of our heads, and when you start to sleep, you're not really in control, right? So it's just an awareness. Like, a lot of people say I just absolutely can't, and it's just to say, okay, just so you understand, right, what's going on with your face. And then like over time, I'll have them kind of make subtle shifts, right? Even if it start on your back and you're not spending the entire time on your back or on your side. So yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How long would a typical face yoga routine be? Like you mentioned, doing them in the morning or when you're driving to work. How much time in a day would you allot to these types of exercises?
So up to 20 minutes, Veronica. And the beauty of it is it doesn't have to be in one chunk. So I'll tell clients morning and night, because it gives them a routine, right? Generally, like to ask 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night is not much. But then I get into, ways we can include it in their day. So like I said, commute. I remember I used to commute 25 minutes and I could easily do 3-4 poses by the time I got to work, and then come back on the work, I would do the same thing. So I got in a few minutes there. You can do it, while you're watching your favorite TV show, right? You could do it cooking. If you do yoga as well, I would love to partner with the yoga instructor, and when we can incorporate this as well. It's just finding those little ways. So even I had a client who it was funny because she, on her washroom breaks, she would go in the washroom and she would do 1 or 2 poses then, right? She'd do in the morning and night. So it's just sliding it in, like even a few minutes every day is better than, say, doing 20 minutes 3 times a week. It's getting into that routine. And when I was first starting, I mean, if I was a passenger in a car, I would take down, the mirror there. And that was it. I started to really, because I wanted to see my form and that, and I would just practice every little place. And I do it now walking the dog. Like people think I'm smiling, right? I have the curve, right? And I'm just working on my cheeks. I'm working on my mouth muscles. So, and it's, as I showed you, Veronica, in the thermographic imaging, honestly, 10 seconds, 3 sets, 30 seconds post is what you need, right? So if you did that, throughout the day, that's what I love about it. It's not like, you have to dedicate time. And for anybody to say, I don't have time for this, it's just a matter of finding little ways to sneak it in. So that's why I say morning and night, at least a note, then we're releasing the tension each time. So.
Awesome. Are there any other questions? Yeah, go ahead, Safa.
Yeah, this question would be more of a personal question. I want to ask, because happening with me recently, as I removed most of my teeth in the back with a lot of infection, I'm losing all of that muscle on here, and it's just my face is going in. I'm skinny regardless already, so that's the new thing for me. Kind of like, I don't want to say it's a challenge. When I look at the mirror in the morning, I give some love to myself. I'm aware of that, but I can't help but noticing that it's denting over here. So I wonder if that's something that there's something I can do about that.
So it's the teeth. Sorry, just to recap.
So I have removed molars. So most of the molars are gone.
Okay. And that's a great question, Safa, because that's why I do ask, like, often dental work will shift our faces, right? It definitely impacts our face as well, for sure. I would say, Safa, for sure, like by working, so you find it in the cheek area. Do you find this is there? Yeah. So it's the cheek muscles are still there. So by exercising those cheek muscles, you're going to firm those up. So, you may not, you'll definitely see some difference. It'll start to shape your cheeks, right? You definitely can sculpt and have a lifting, right? I for sure, for me, I've always had like high definition cheeks, and that's what I started to notice. My cheeks, everything started to go down. But yeah, you definitely can work the cheek muscles and make some improvement. I would say yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just based on what Safa was saying, so how does removing our wisdom teeth affect our jawline structure? Do you know?
Your wisdom, taking the wisdom teeth out?
Yeah, do you feel like it affects our jawline structure?
I'm not. I still have all my wisdom teeth, believe it or not. I'm not sure. That's a great question. I know dental work as well, like especially taking the teeth out, for sure can impact your face. But wisdom teeth,
I think so. Sorry to interrupt you, but the talking I went over a while ago. It's just it's the new world kind of thing. Back in the days, people didn't remove that, and that's why the whole structure of the face over the last century is actually slimming and thinning more, right? We're not supposed to be removing our wisdom teeth. They're supposed to stay there. So we kind of were misled alongside with everything else. So it does thin down the whole structure of the face. Just like now how my whole, all of my skin over here is kind of, there's nothing to sit on basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Right. So as you remove stuff, that would make a lot of sense as well. But I know even people who get partials put in as well, right? Having to relearn to speak and, just using the whole muscle. I remember I was just telling Veronica too as well, because I got veneers put in and I felt like I had a wad of gum behind my mouth for the first, like I had to relearn to talk again. I had to relearn how to speak again. So, but yeah. So any other questions, Veronica? Can I?
Are there exercises, as you were saying, for the neck? Like, because I definitely carry also a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders. So, yeah. So do you do that with face yoga too?
We do. So I was just gonna get into it, but anyway, Andrea, I cover the 8 areas of the face, and those are the forehead area. So we got exercises for the forehead area, the eyes, the cheeks, the nasolabial, the lips and the mouth area, the neck, the jawline, and the neck, the neck and the jawline as well. So those are the 8 areas that I do. So I have in I have a mini course as well. I was just going to talk about in there, and I cover the entire face. You'll give an exercise for the entire face, and then I give some tips in there as well. As I don't know if you've heard me, Andrea, about even putting, like, when especially if you're going to do a lot of down, looking down, not exercises, but looking down movement, and just getting yourself a nice scarf or something and tying it so that you're kind of conscious of not bringing your chin down all the time, right? So it's just allowing that flow. But we definitely do some exercises or poses to promote circulation and smooth out. I've seen some really great results with that too.
I think just being over the pandemic, using my computer so much more, it's actually not level, I think, which is part of the problem to if I was looking straight ahead, right? So I'm constantly kind of looking down at my screen. So I guess that's something I need to consider, doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you become aware, and I like to bring awareness. And it's like, like I said, with the sleeping position, at first I was like, there's no way I'm sleeping on my back. There's just no way I'm doing it. And then as I wake up every morning, I was kind of conscious of it, but it was a slow. But yeah, you're right, Andrea. Like, maybe you could put a book underneath there, maybe just to start to become aware, even when we're using our phones. I know, right? We tend to look down as much, and if you can bring it up, or I try and have my phone on speaker as much as possible. So that's another thing as well. We're on here, we're creating, especially if you have a favorite side of the phone, we start to create, right, as well, right? We're pushing, right? And it's just about being mindful of how we touch our faces. So we were doing that exercises, right? I see this a lot too in people are like they're standing here listening, right? Like I notice it, right? It's like, okay, and I had one woman looked at me, she goes, oh my God, I'm touching my face, Louise, right? And it's just, it's just those habits. It's just those little habits, Andrea. And I, in my notes, I had face yoga is 20%, right? It's like exercise, right? We know how important nutrition is, and face yoga is 20%. So that's why I go on in different, I do the releasing, the lifestyle. So there's so much more we can do in our daily habits, just as we just become aware to prevent it, right? We're preventing. So the exercise is a habit, but it's not the whole package. That's why I love it. I love it with nutrition. And just, we also teach lifestyle as well. So just little things. So that's it. It's just being aware. And when you're aware, then, you start to make those changes. So it's a great question.
Excellent. Any last questions? No? All right. Did you have a little bit more that you wanted to go over, Louise?
Yeah, I just let's see if it's in there. I just had my contact. If you guys have any other questions, email me info@faceyogawithlouise.com. So this just a little bit of background in how I work as well. So I do have a self-study program. I have one that's not on here yet, but I have the Refresh Your Face. This one again is just for the newbie, and this covers the entire face, so the 8 areas of the face. It's a do-it-yourself. There's 5 modules, so it's either 1 or 2 areas of the face that we work on as well. Perfect just for the beginner. I have that one there. I'm offering that one for $97, and then I'm also, in addition, I'm offering a bonus class. So for anybody who takes it, and I always know there's questions, so I'm offering a bonus session 1-on-1 with me as well too, if you wanted to do that. And then again, I work 1-on-1. So this is more customizable. So we go into more detail of your concerns as well. This is 7 1-on-1 sessions. Plus I do a 30-day follow-up as well, and with unlimited email support. And then this one I'm working on, this is my newest one that I haven't gotten, is a VIP. So I've done half-day face yoga retreats as well. So somebody who wants to fast track, and I prefer week to week, because I said it, we can ask questions, but someone, if you did like workshops as well, I could do, it's generally about 4 hours, and we go through the entire face. So and the new one, which I haven't gone on there, is a list of mini facelift, because there's much what we did today release, and there's other modules in there. We go more into lifestyle, and yeah, so this is a great one. And your pictures, so I don't know if anybody took pictures, just take a quick picture and just, right, I've done some actually for that one Teresa, we did a little experiment as well. I should have put that up there. It was just fun to see, like after an hour, like her face was great, and then just more relaxed. So it's always nice just to see the subtle, like I said, the subtle changes.
I should do that. I did take a
Send it to me
picture.
if you want.
I actually think that my jowl on this side is less. I'll look at the picture for sure, but I don't know, it feels like it's less.
It feels good. That's great. And when you feel it looks great, you just, right, it just allows you to shine. And that is my, I was doing face yoga, but then I started to see, of course, with 2020, just started to see the need for women to, who were being reluctant, and, we all have something valuable to offer the world. So I just kind of like my way to, gently push you out there and get out there and say what you got to say. So yeah, thank you so much, Liz. Thank you, Veronica, for having me on here. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please reach out and let me know.
Yes, thank you for sharing everything, Louise. And thank you to all of you for attending live and for participating and asking good questions. I'll do my best to get this replay up as soon as possible. I see Sabine has put the link in the chat. If anyone wanted to grab that now, I'll leave it up there for a few more seconds before we end the call, but we'll make sure we have that link in the replay as well.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you again. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. This was a really great time together. And thank you again, Louise, for sharing all this great information.
Awesome. Thank you so much.